it's not going to be easy. You're going to get knocked down, eliminated, humiliated. MJ went through that, LeBron went through that. All those things is part of being great.
You cannot keep me down. Giannis punishing the Suns. Flex on him, Giannis.
We are built for this. The job is not done.
You cannot keep me down.
Good day. Welcome into First Take on a Wednesday. Thank you for being with us. Stephen A. under the weather. He's been running around all over the place covering all these sporting
Probably
events.
The first couple hours of sleep he's gotten in like a month.
I doubt he's sleeping, but hopefully he is.
Hope so.
Thank you for pinch hitting on short notice. Always good to have Super
Yeah, I'm
Bowl
gonna
champ
send Stephen A. the invoice. Don't you ever worry.
He can afford it, so don't you worry. And we got a cast of characters joining us. Marcus Spears is going to be here, Kendrick Perkins, Vince Carter, Monica McNutt, so we'll have a lot of fun. It's a game day, y'all. Pivotal game for tonight in Milwaukee on ABC. Giannis and the Bucks will look to build off their Game 3 performance and even the series. As for the Suns, they've got their game face on and then some. I'll let Chris Paul explain.
It ain't golf. It's not tennis. You know what I mean? We all in this together. So everybody on our team took the loss hard, as we should. You know, we never go into a game expecting to lose. You know, if you show me somebody who expects to lose, I'll show you a loser. And so everybody on our team felt a way. We felt like we could be better, and that's why we used yesterday, we'll use today to prepare, and we'll all come out ready to play tomorrow.
Gotta like that mindset with Milwaukee looking to tie it up. The Bucks are seeking to overcome a 2-0 deficit for the second time this postseason. The Clippers are the only team in NBA history to overcome multiple 2-0 series deficits in a single postseason. Don't forget, they did it this postseason as well. Key, I'll start with you. Who has the edge?
I would start off by saying it's the Milwaukee Bucks for sure, in my opinion. You have home court advantage. You're at home. You know the fans are going to be sick, crazy, drunk, having fun, and causing problems. Plus, it energizes your team. It energizes guys like Drew Holiday and Middleton. On top of that, role players for the Phoenix Suns, they struggle on the road, and that's throughout the NBA. Whenever guys are role players, they tend to struggle on the road. So when you look at that, Phoenix is on the road. All they got to do, as far as I'm concerned, in Milwaukee, is stay the course. Do exactly what they did in Game 3, starting off with Giannis. Allow him to use that big frame and that big body in the paint. If he does anything outside of dominating the paint, I'm going to take issue with that. Do not shoot three-pointers. No, no, no. Maybe if you're up by 30 and you feel good about it and you just want to pull it at that point in time. But outside of that, no. Dominate the paint. And then allow Drew Holiday to do what he did in terms of getting all up into Devin Booker. And when Devin Booker decides that he wants to pass the ball to Chris Paul, slide him over to Chris Paul and try to get up in that. When he's off the court, allow PJ Tucker to do his thing. So I believe it's the Bucks with the edge because home court advantage in these playoffs is extremely important.
Well, look, for Game 4, I agree. It's the Bucks with the edge. And what you mentioned about role players is interesting to me because you know who's great at home usually? Chris Middleton. But Chris Middleton, because he show up on the road big as though he's not a role player, as though he's a star. Remember, I've been saying Chris Middleton is usually good, sometimes excellent. That's why he's usually not an all-star. Once in a while he is. He's made 2 teams in his life. I was talking to Andre Snellings, Dr. Andre Snellings, our very own ESPN, and on my radio show, Max Kellerman Show, 2 p.m. Eastern.
Shameless.
Get that in.
Radio, you know it. And he was saying it's not that Middleton, he's right about this, not that Middleton's usually good, sometimes great. It's that a lot of times he's not good. And then sometimes he's amazing, right? And it averages out to what he is. So there at home, Middleton might have an amazing game. And Key, what you said about the crowd juicing these guys at home, no doubt. We saw it with the Bucks. And now with that, no Dario Saric. And if Ayton winds up in foul trouble, the same thing can happen. I like the Bucks in Game 4. I still like the Suns in the series, though. Yeah. They still have home court. They still have the 2 most dynamic players in the series are both in their backcourt. And as much as Giannis might want this, I don't think anyone in this series wants it more than Chris Paul. So I agree with you for Game 4. For the series, I think the Suns still have the
it's going to go back and back ping pong. Who the home team wins, right? You go 2-2, you even the score. Now you go back to Phoenix, they win. Now you go back to Milwaukee, they win. And then in the end, it falls in Phoenix's lap. And at that point, Game 7, anything can go.
Right.
Do you expect a big game? Go ahead.
No, until the road team wins a game, it's whoever has home court's probably going to win.
Do you expect a bounce back game from Devin Booker? Because we've seen what he's done with the back against the wall.
Devin Booker is the type of dude, you could smell it on him, but you saw it in the bubble last year. You're seeing it in these playoffs. If he could have a bad game again, he could struggle for a couple games. You're not going to keep him down for a whole series. He's not built like that. Devin Booker is, if the Milwaukee Bucks are thinking that Devin Booker, we have this under control, I'm sure they're not, but they don't. Devin Booker is going to explode, and they're going to have to be prepared for that. They're going to have an answer for it.
Well, I think when you look at it, Drew Holiday has to be the answer for it, though. If you want him to have the same type of shooting night, 3 for 14, or something very similar, 10 points, or something very similar to that, you got to do exactly what you did in Game 3. Don't change. Don't change at all. If you think about the defense of the regular season for the Milwaukee Bucks, they were probably one of the top 2, if not the best defense in all of the NBA.
Guys,
why not carry that into
real quick,
hold
Molly?
on 1 second.
Yeah.
I just wanted to bring in, because we got another champion with us.
Gotcha.
Kendrick Perkins on the line. Big Perk, you there?
Why am I looking for him?
Yeah, I'm here. What's going on, Molly?
There he is.
There he is.
All clean,
Showing
all
up like
black.
a hitman on the air. Look at this.
Perk, have you been hearing us on who's got the edge in the series?
Yeah, I've been hearing it, Molly. I've been
I'm
listening
not hearing
to
him.
it.
Are you,
Me
Max?
neither. I'm not hearing
All
Unfortunately.
right, we'll work on getting Perk.
me-
Max, you pick up your thought.
And I have to remember what it was. You were Drew Holiday. Drew Holiday's defense.
They said
Drew
it
Holiday is a great defensive
I'm not giving
guard.
you no room, though.
What? No. What
I'm not giving you no
what I'm saying
room.
is Drew Holiday's a great defensive guard against smaller guards. He can lock up smaller guards as well as anyone else. Bigger guys, and Devin Booker's not miniature. You
But
know,
the problem-
bigger guys can torch him.
But the problem is, if you Drew Holiday, I'm underneath you. Where you want to put the ball at, I'm right underneath you. I'm right there. I'm not giving you any space. I'm harassing you. I'm being aggressive, just like I was down 2-0. I got to take that same mentality in 4.
I just don't know
if
if you
I
can-
don't. If I don't, then you're gonna. If I give you that space, yes, you're gonna torch me. But if I'm smaller than you, I'm up on you. You want to put the ball on the ground? I'm right up underneath you. I'm not allowing you to have the space.
But he has been. There have been games, even in this regular season, where he's gone against longer players and got lit up. You know, and Devin Booker's the type of dude who can score.
But I'm
from
paying you
anywhere.
$100 and something million to be exactly what you were in Game 3. I think he can duplicate that in Game 4.
That's the issue with paying someone. I mean, I'm happy Drew Holiday got his money, but the issue in the NBA is when you can't get a Chris Paul, right? He's on the trade market. Oh, we can't get him. We can't match up salary. What are we going to do?
Yeah, but
you
let's
can
not
trade
act
for
like
Drew Holiday.
But Max, let's not act like Drew Holiday is chopped liver.
No, he's good. He's a very good player.
Good
and a clutch player. And a clutch player.
He had a
But put it
great
this
game
way.
three.
Both ends of the floor when he's on.
My point is, if the Bucks ownership, those hedge fund dudes, wouldn't have played Milwaukee cheap, which they did, and they would have signed Brogdon, they didn't want to because they didn't want to pay that luxury tax. They let him walk and got no compensation. Then when Chris Paul's on the trade market, you have stuff you can match up and bring him in. And if Chris Paul were on the Bucks win the chip this year.
Yeah, but
I don't
you
think
can't
they
start
do.
thinking about the ifs, though, Max.
No
you
doubt.
can't worry about when they didn't pay somebody luxury tax because you didn't know that you were going to see Phoenix in the finals. You had no idea you would even be in the finals. You hoped to be in the finals, which they landed
lucky
in the
to be
finals.
in the finals.
Well, shoe here, shoe there, yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of that
exactly, yeah.
luck because of injuries. That's where I want to go now.
Right.
Key, your city, but not your team. So these playoffs have been devastated, by injuries. Kawhi Leonard, just one of many. Leonard had surgery to repair his partially torn ACL. The Clippers said the surgery on Leonard's right knee was successful, and there's no timetable for his return. Leonard missed the team's final 8 playoff games with a sprained right knee, and the Clippers enter the offseason with Leonard's health and future at the forefront. Kawhi has a player option in his contract and can choose to opt in for $36 million in 2021-22. Leonard doesn't have full bird rights, and that would restrict him to a 4-year, $176.2 million deal. That's real money. If he declines the option, according to Bobby Marks. I'll start with you, Keith. What does this mean for Kawhi's future in LA?
It means nothing other than signing that extension for 4 years. Why even think about leaving and going anywhere else? I mean, you had the short stop in Toronto. You won the championship, but you put this team together essentially in Los Angeles with the Clippers. You went out and got Paul George. You were part of the decision making to move on from Glenn Rivers, who was Doc once upon a time, but now wants to be called Glenn. You decided to say, hey, we want to move on from this, and you're important to the city. This is what you wanted to do. So talking about leaving or going somewhere else just makes zero sense. Plus, Ballmer's not going to allow that to happen. He's going to do everything within his power, along with Ty Lue, to keep the top player on their team. Why wouldn't you?
Damn. Doc goes 10 deep in the playoffs instead of shortening the rotation, and Key took his PhD away.
He the one said he wanted to be referred to as Glenn Rivers, so I'm trying my best
Being
to say
respectful.
Glenn Rivers and not Doc.
That's going to be hard
Got to win another championship, then it's back to Doc.
That's going to be hard to break, though, because we've been calling him that for so many years. But yes, we will.
This is the thing about Kawhi. I don't think he should leave LA either. And my guess is he won't, although people have been talking about Miami, and you could understand why. But in LA, he has a great coach and an excellent team. And I believe, had he not been hurt, they would have won the championship this year. You know what I think is going on with Kawhi right now?
What?
Because we always apply this to LeBron. And it happened to Kobe. And since Michael Jordan, like once upon a time, you did not have to win the championship every single year. And then people were saying, what's wrong? You didn't win the championship this year. Like Magic and Bird traded years where they won championships.
But the problem with this now, Max, is you're putting it together to win the championship. So we're expecting you to win it.
Okay, but not. The point is this. LeBron is held to the Jordan standard. Every year he doesn't win the chip. What happened? So is Kawhi, though. Like, Kawhi has been finals MVP twice.
Together to win the championship, though.
Eventually, it doesn't have to happen in years one or two.
When you go out there and you tell your organization, go get me that, go get me this, that's because you're trying to win right now.
Well,
you're not saying go get me this, that.
Let me ask you
2 years, 3 years.
I have a question. Okay, so let's say Kawhi, in the first 4 years that he's a Clipper, wins a championship. Is that a huge success?
But we're not waiting 4 years.
But it's already
For
been
the Clippers
two.
franchise,
We're not waiting.
It's already been two.
I get it.
And if the next 2 years he wins one, he did it.
Those first 2 years have been a disappointment to people like your friend Marcellus Wiley, who is a Clipper fan. That's a disappointment because we went out, we gave up draft picks, we spending money, we fired a coach. That's what we wanted to do.
I wouldn't say it's a disappointment yet, because
it's such a disappointment.
That's my point.
Such a disappointment.
We all have to take a step back and say, no one's Michael Jordan. As soon as you give him a crew, he wins it every year. There are going to be years where you don't win it. Kawhi wins one with the Clippers. It's a
this
success.
is not the Brooklyn Nets and KD. KD signed with a torn Achilles. We knew 1 year was going to be wasted. Last year, whether bubble or not bubble, they got bounced.
If the Clippers win one chip in Kawhi's tenure with the Clippers, is it a success or not?
It's a success.
That's it.
Yeah.
But they didn't sign up for 5 years from now. They signed up for today.
Yeah, that's okay. Not only one team can win it.
All right, agree to disagree. First you don't succeed, try again. Hey, Perk, you got me now.
Yeah, what's going on, Molly?
Okay, good. Get in on this. Where are you on this subject?
Well, first of all, Max is all over the place as usual, right?
I'm in one place, right here.
Leonard, no, you're all over the place again.
Don't mischaracterize
because you
me.
were the one that said, you're the one that said when it matters the most, when it's in the playoffs, you're rolling with Kawhi because Kawhi delivers championships. He went to LA, why? To deliver championships. He left everything that he had in Toronto. They wanted to give that man everything in Toronto after he won the championship. He forced Paul George to force a trade out of Oklahoma City. He gets whatever he wants, private helicopters to the arena, to the plane, sitting in private suites. He has the red carpet laid out for him. By the way, he had an opportunity to go across the street and join LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers alongside with Anthony Davis. He said, no, I'm going to be your competitor. So with that being said, I'm rolling with Keyshawn on this one. It's to deliver championships now. But guess what, Max? Guess what, Max? It's not going to be a championship no time soon with the Los Angeles Clippers due to Kawhi having season-ending surgery for us with his ACL.
Now, look, it's not going to be this year, and it's because of his injury. Otherwise, I'm telling you, it would have been this year. They would have beaten the Suns. They went 6 games without Kawhi. Of course, they would have beaten them with Kawhi, and they would have beaten the Bucks. And Kawhi had Giannis's number when he was in the Eastern Conference. When LeBron went to Cleveland, LeBron's better than Kawhi, okay? But when LeBron went to Cleveland, in 4 years, he delivered one championship. One. It was a huge success. If Kawhi delivers a championship to the Clippers in the first 4 years, it's a huge success.
LeBron
Cleveland,
going back to Cleveland and getting one championship is not Kawhi coming from Toronto to the Clippers.
Actually,
It's not the same.
you could argue it's a bigger accomplishment for Kawhi to win with the Clippers. They've never been in the Western Conference Finals even.
Whenever LeBron would have won a championship for Cleveland, a team that drafted him, that he took him to a championship as a youngster, and parted ways with them to go to Miami, coming back to save the day.
It's Kawhi's fault he was drafted to another team?
He came back to save the day. LeBron cashed in and did what he was supposed to do, so he left again. Kawhi assembled this team, put it together, wanted them to win now. They're not saying, we're going to sign Kawhi in 2020 to win in 2025.
And they're not
That's
saying,
not what they're doing.
They're not saying that now. What I'm saying, what I'm offering is a different perspective. Kawhi, from the area, didn't have a choice where he was drafted, maneuvered his way back to his hometown. If he wins a championship in his tenure on the Clippers,
They're gonna take
it's similar to what LeBron did in Cleveland.
No, it's not. It's not.
No,
it's
it's
not
not.
similar to what he did.
For a franchise that's never even been to a Western Conference Finals.
First of all, there was bad blood in
Max.
Cleveland when he left. So that was a whole nother situation.
Yeah, what's up, Perk?
Max, here's the difference with LeBron James, all right? Drafted in Cleveland, left Cleveland. The owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers and Dan Gilbert wrote a harsh letter about LeBron James. He called him a Benedict Arnold. LeBron James left and went to South Beach, delivered 2 championships, still could have stayed there with Chris Bosh and Dwayne Wade and probably would have won 2 or 3 more, to be honest with you. He decided, he said, you know what? I'm going to put my pride aside. I'm going back to Cleveland, a team that had been in the lottery every single year. Matter of fact, I think they, hold on, Max.
Yeah.
I think they probably had 3 out of the 4 years LeBron James was gone. They probably had 3 first picks overall in the draft. I'm going to go back to Cleveland because I have unfinished business. I owe it to my hometown. I owe it to every fan in Cleveland, and I'm going to deliver a championship there.
Hold on.
He took the team to the finals.
There is no perfect analogy. And by the way, LeBron magnanimously leaving the Heat when they may have been on the downside and going to Cleveland, who already had Kyrie, who then had the draft capital to go get him Kevin Love, is not exactly like him saying, I'm going to a place where I can't win. He waited until Cleveland was in a position to win with him.
They were
when
not
he
in
won.
a position. You
Max,
remember
He didn't win
Max,
year 1. He got hurt. But
they were not in a position to win.
He got hurt year 1, and as a result, they went 6 games with the eventual champions and then lost. It's exactly what's happening with Kawhi in year 2.
Max, it's not what's happening with Kawhi because Kawhi and the Clippers never made it to the finals. And then second of all, even with Kyrie, they never made it to the playoffs. So LeBron James went to a team, again, that was in the lottery every single year that he left.
In the lottery.
Yes, and as a result, they acquired enormous draft capital.
He got rid of half the team when he got there to get better players to
true.
help them win.
That's right.
That is true.
He got Kyrie, and he knew that with the first overall pick, they could make a trade for a superstar, which they did in Kevin Love. So he had Kyrie and Kevin Love, and he went to that team with Kyrie and Kevin Love at the time looked as good, at least as Bosh and Wade, based on where they were in their career.
Take the L, man.
Max,
I'm taking the L here?
Take the L, man.
Molly, can I say this to Max?
Yeah, go ahead.
Molly, can I say this to Max? Mm-hmm. Tell me how many playoff appearances did Kevin Love and Kyrie have before LeBron James teamed up with them?
Kevin Love was not on a good team. He, as the best player on the team, would win about 40 games in the Western Conference.
Wait, could you answer the question?
He was a perennial all-star, so was Kyrie.
Can you ask the question?
Because none of them were on good teams, but he brought them together.
All I asked you to do was ask me. You said he saw
it's a leading question.
Kyrie and Kevin Love or whatever. I asked you how many playoff appearances.
Elicit an answer that makes it sound like you're making a good point when you're not.
And then when LeBron left, where did the Cleveland Cavs go from there?
They still,
no doubt.
Keyshawn, they still in the lottery. Every time LeBron leaves,
no doubt, LeBron can get you there. But are we going to pretend that he wasn't playing with 2 other All-Stars?
But all I'm going to say to end this one here quick, Molly, is that Kawhi is staying. in LA.
Okay.
He's going to sign his extension. Why
He is.
follow LeBron James to Miami? I just don't see it. You wouldn't come with him around the corner like Big Perk said to go in the other locker room. What the hell are you going to go to Miami for now?
Especially when you're from California.
And my point is, the Jordan standard, which says you always have to win the championship every year, is an unfair standard to apply, maybe to everyone except LeBron, because LeBron's on that left, Kobe's on that left. But Kawhi's not quite. If Kawhi wins a single championship,
I'm not hiring you as my general manager,
if Kawhi wins a single championship while he's on the Clippers, it was a resounding success, and I believe.
But Max, I think part of it is because he could have stayed in Toronto. He had won a chip there.
They weren't going to win another
Molly,
one.
nobody is paying. Kawhi didn't do all this to wait 10 years to win a damn championship. It's every single year.
No one was beating
And
LeBron
it's the whole
and AD.
King of LA thing. It's to compete with the
that's-
Lakers. You know this. It's right now. It's that rivalry at Staples. Come on. All right, that's all she wrote. That was fun, guys. Still to come here, Adam Schefter has the latest on Aaron Rodgers, and it's quite telling. We'll bring in Big Swagoo to react to the fact that Rodgers may be gone from Green Bay. Plus, half man, half amazing, lived up to the latter part of his nickname in the 2000 Olympics when he dunked all over France. He joins the show to talk Team USA